One more video for the weekend, still March 5th here, but I guess I'm going to call this one creative framing, or getting creative while you're framing, because you run into a lot of obstacles, as I found out, and now that I'm all finished with the framing, I'll go through a couple things. So I'm starting the video here. What this is the air conditioning line. I have a 2-zone, and the second zone is all the way up in the attic, but the supply has to come out and go to the condenser that's outside. So these copper lines are running. It was right against this header board like this. So I really wanted to sheetrock that, so I had to band it out with some 2x4s. Banding is basically just building out the area with some kind of lumber that clears whatever it is you're looking to hide. I learned that from Eddie Case, the basement finishing man on YouTube, and I've actually learned a lot from him. But he is a master when it comes to framing and hiding things, and he does an unbelievable job with basements. So I got to give him another shout out. So anyway, I found with the 2x4, it's going to cut it close, and I'm going to have to be real careful when I put the sheetrock on to know not to nail there, because those are copper lines. But there you go, you can see the plane. You see, once the sheetrock hits, boom, you're not seeing those lines anymore. And it was good because it gave me an area to run some cables too. When I was running some lines up here and everything, I had to like this white wire here. When I was running all the wire for the lighting, I had to, jump power from switch to switch. So here, when I had to jump out of here and go across the way, I had to find a way to get up there. Well, right above it is my return for my ventilation, so I couldn't go through there. If I went through that side, eventually I got to jump across the return. I didn't want to go through the return. That would have been silly. So this gave me a nice little access point to get a line straight across, and you can see, where is it? There she is. Comes across, goes in that little rabbit hole, then it comes up, over, and then down. Okay, so that area was framing trick number one. Over here, originally when I designed it, this was just going to come out square, 90-degree wall. But I thought with the storage, as you can see the way I store stuff back there, it was going to be tight to get around. So I thought, well, why not make it a 45-degree wall, or close to 45. It looks like 45. It's not. Only I would know that at this point, because I did it, but that's the way it lined up. So a lot of, with framing, it's visualizing how the sheetrock is going to attach. And when you're framing things and trying to frame these obstacles out and everything, it's like, well, where's my sheetrock going to hit? And I had all these pieces, these little pieces of sheetrock that there's another one laying there on top of my salt. As I'm framing out, I'm constantly moving around with the sheetrock, making sure that I have nice flush areas that could fit. So here, when I frame this wall out, obviously I couldn't come all the way up. There's a duct trunk there, but I had to soffit it anyway. So I came underneath the soffit, and with this, a toenail in here, and I built the wall, stood it up straight, plumbed it, and was able to build right underneath that duct trunk. So that was a little unconventional. And then here I came to the corner. This is where my 45 comes. And then again, I'm visualizing how the sheetrock's going to attach. Well, here, I mean, these are almost 16 inches, the best I could do. The sheetrock will come straight across, but I had to stop here because I'm going to run into this area. But then up here, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's going to be sheetrock on this header, but what's going to happen over there? How am I going to get it to meet? So what I did, I took a little piece of 2x3 and I ripped it to an angle that's close to what the wall is, and then I screwed it in there. So sheetrock will come up to here and then it'll go across, and then it'll continue on the soffit. So that was a little tricky to work with. Up here, some more banding that I had to do, and again, it helped with the wire, but that's not the reason I did it. On the other side, when I built my gym originally, I built a 2x6 wall here, and it's sitting right underneath a header, which consists, all the headers consist of 2x12s. Well, so that would be 1.5 inches times 3. And so we got 4.5 inches. Well, a 2x6 is 5.5 inches. So as you can see, I needed to band it, because when I built the other wall on the other side, I made it flush on that side, but then it wasn't flush over here. So I was able to take the distance up with a little piece of furring strip and band that area. So that's all ready for sheetrock. Another obstacle, this wasn't really an obstacle. I mean, I guess a lot of people do this, but I wanted to sheetrock underneath the steps. So I just cut 2x4s to size, toe-nailed them in, and the sheetrock will go all the way down. And I went pretty deep with the wall. Like I said, this is going to be for my little one's play area, so she could store a lot of stuff under here, so it's not a big deal for her to crawl down low and get that. And I didn't really want it like a closet and lose all that space, so I went all pretty far back with where the wall is going to be. Like I said, all done framing.